Name's Keegan Hartslief, and this is my integrated hospitality supply chain and point of sale for sustainable future using blockchain technology. I'm pitching this idea to a restaurateur who has a low level of understanding of blockchain. So the problems that we face at the moment is that in hospitality we rely on middlemen to provide us products a lot of the time that are usually not of the standard and quality that we require, and they charge a large fee too. They also don't give us access a lot of the time to the farmer to really see how this produce was handled, and whether or not it is actually organic or it is coming from a sustainable source. A lot of the time, though, too, with that is that because we rely on that middleman, the data is usually disconnected. We do not have access to that supply chain. We do not have control of any of the data of any of the product. So literally, all we have is the product in front of us at the venue. We propose that there's a solution to reduce costs, remove middlemen, and connect our data. Doing so, we do it through a blockchain system where we can connect the farmer through to the restaurateur. The way that we'll sell it is through a point of sale software. So most of the point of sale software on the market at the moment is programmed to just take in sales at a venue and you manually input your inventory. So imagine now that you could automate that process and run it so that the inventory is purchased from the farmer, is connected to your point of sale, and goes through the blockchain process and following that through the supply chain to the venue. When it hits your venue, you receive it, you scan it, the product automatically hit your point of sale as inventory, and then as you sell it to a customer, it automatically figures out the profits you made, the costs involved of shipping the product to you, and the cost of making the product. So all of a sudden you have a point of sale that automates the whole process and really can give you full profit and loss statements. It also gives you access to understanding your inventory a lot better. It also means that the data you receive helps life when you have to deal with regulatory bodies. And you have to provide documentation. When you also have to do your taxes, you may as well just give them access to the blockchain and they can see the whole auditable process throughout that blockchain. You can also give this data to customers and social media providers. You could probably sell the data of your supply chain, of the quality of the produce you're using and the farmers you're dealing with to those networks to create a new revenue stream. So our core values are really to create a sustainable future. And the way that they do that is through the provenance, the transparency under the blockchain process, is that we can really track the produce from its birth in a farm all the way through to the venue. And through that process, regulatory bodies can look at that data and say, okay, cool, was it sustainably produced? Were there chemicals added? Were there not chemicals added? They can really tick that, and we can build smart contracts around that to make sure that we only are dealing with quality produce that is farmed in a sustainable manner and good for the environment. The other factors is that because we have a full access to this ecosystem, well, this database, is that we can look at ways of increasing efficiencies. We can look at implementing Internet of Things and RFID chips and automating transaction processes through this blockchain. The other core value is that it is a trusted network. We are trying to create a healthy, trusted network, and it's all because of it being decentralized, the fact that it's secure and immutable, and that we do have access to all this data. The one point is that we will have it permissioned so that we can control who has access to what data. The hurdles to adoption really revolve around technology and the fact that it's still in its infancy stage. And with that, talent is really hard to come by. And finding partnerships where people really understand the benefit of the technology is hard. But as the technology is more accepted and more people invest in it, slowly but surely more talent will come into the game and partners will see the opportunities arising and will want to partner with people that are building a strong blockchain system. So how we're going to do this is through a proof of concept. There's two elements to it. Firstly is that we need to prove that we can build a blockchain integrated point of sale. Once we have built a point of sale that we can take to a venue and a venue can use it, they can customize it, they find it quite efficient and as good as the point of sales that are on the market now, is then when we can take it to the next point, proof of concept, which is isolating the supply chain and taking a vegetable or one particular product of a farmer's and following it down the supply chain and extracting all that data and making sure that everyone has access to that supply chain. So it is quite transparent what has happened to that product through that supply chain. If we can do that, we can prove that that blockchain has a place within the supply chain and hospitality industry, and we can then evolve it to work in a larger network, say for instance in Newtown, and then from then into Sydney, and we can really implement it large scale at that point. So the way we can measure our success is obviously by overcoming our hurdles, making sure that the technology does grow and we do provide a strong tech back for the point of sale. The other aspect is that we do meet our core values. If any of those core values aren't met, we really do fail. But we can do that with the technology of blockchain. The other aspect is KPIs, making sure that we are meeting sales targets, that we are hitting tech targets, that we are making sure that we can solve a problem and that customers, buyers, sellers, venues, farmers, they all feel that there is value within the product. Thanks for listening and have a lovely evening.